How many days that concert going to be? Like 2 o'clock or?
Maybe 3.
3? Okay.
Likely.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's narrowed down the time.
Okay. That's why I put it in my calendar.
You got Gaben's car stuff this today?
It was yesterday.
Okay. I heard it on the radio. I'm like, we have 3 Gaben's cars coming.
Actually 4. Oh yeah. No, actually, you're right. You're right. 3 visiting horses.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's cool. So it's cool to hear, like, your group on the radio, like, them announcing on your radio.
Wow. On what station?
It was a WCI.
Oh.
97.9. They said it Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning.
Aha.
So I was like, oh, this is cool.
And we had everybody all together singing Defying Gravity.
Oh, that's amazing. It was very
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, it is so gay. About that.
Yeah, no, I love it. That's what musical theater is.
Much less hearing, or if they wanted to sing pop. Well, actually, we established a gay youth choir, so that it was just so at the moment comprised of maybe 6 or 7 members, but they sang.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then it's really good.
Good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Columbus. I'm Betsy Smalley, and I'm a member of your board of trustees. My pronouns are she, her. I am an older white woman wearing a gray sweater with green slacks. Our speakers provide visual descriptions to welcome people with visual impairments and to those listening online. Thank you for joining us this morning. Today is an all-ages service. This means that families, children, and teens are invited to remain in the service together with us the whole time. There are no Sunday school classes today, but toddler care is available in room 101. Adults are asked to celebrate the joyful noises of our church's future. And our kiddos are asked to remember that sometimes it's hard for everyone to hear and participate when people are being loud. Families are invited to grab a busy bag from out in the gallery to explore the quiet activities in our worship area and to check out Sloter Lounge if you need more room to move. If you need a break, children, accompanied by an adult, are welcome to use the games and craft ideas near the kitchen. Today's service was planned to be more interactive with the needs of all ages in mind. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones, scan the QR code to check in, access our donation page, or view the order of service. Visitors are invited to pick up a first-time gift at the welcome table out in the gallery and to look for the Getting to Know UU sign in Beach Hall after the service to learn more about our congregation. Everyone is welcome to come chat with me or another board member after the service. For more information about everything that's happening at First UU this month, please take a moment to read your order of service or this week's Friday News email. Now, please rise in body or spirit to sing number 100, I've Got Peace Like a River, verse 1.
I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Good morning. I'm Amber Scott, your Director of Religious Exploration, and my pronouns are she, they. I am a white femme millennial with wild and wonderful wavy hair, and I am wearing a loud, sparkly pink sweater with red hearts. We gather on the stolen land of the Wyandotte, Miami, Seneca, Erie, Shawnee, Delaware, and Cayuga people, many of whom were forcibly removed. We support the Native American Indian Center of Central Ohio in their Land Back campaign, and we know that we have more to do to be in true relationship and solidarity with this land and those indigenous to it. You may have noticed as you were coming in that we were passing out some materials. We'll get to those later. And you also have the opportunity to get up and get some if you didn't get some when you came in. But we've got some sparkly pipe cleaners with different colored beads on them. We've also got some materials for drawing or writing, which we'll use later. Today, as we enter into the spirit of worship, we begin our story. Call Me Max, written by Kyle Lukoff and illustrated by Luciano Lozano. When I look in the mirror, I see a boy. I see a boy with spiky brown hair. I see a boy with white skin that tans in the summer. I see a boy with one mom and one dad and two goldfish. I also see a boy who is transgender. Transgender is a long word, but it means something simple. Trans means going across. Like how transportation means going from here to there. Gender means being a boy or a girl, or a little of both, or not feeling like a boy or a girl. When a baby is born, a grown-up says, "It's a boy," or "It's a girl." But if a brand new baby could talk, sometimes that baby might say, "No, I'm not." When a baby grows up to be transgender, it means that the grown-ups who said they were a boy or a girl made a mistake. When I was born, my mom and dad said, "It's a girl." And when I looked in the mirror, I saw a girl, kind of. But because I'm transgender, I wanted to see a boy. My parents thought it was cute when I put on my dad's ties. I liked to sleep in my Batman shirt. And when they bought me a dress for my first day of school, I lost it. I didn't tell them that I lost it at the bottom of the garbage can. I wore my favorite overalls instead. I thought school would be hard because I didn't know how to read. I thought school would be hard because I wouldn't get to play all day. But school turned out to be hard for other reasons. To be continued. It is now time for children to meet Gus in the back to prepare to bring in the light. Everyone else, please turn to your neighbors and introduce yourself. What do you remember about when you started school? Thank you. It's now time for our children to bring in the light. To the people who have mistaken freedom for liberation, by Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto, with thanks to Reverend Leela Sinha. To be free, you must embrace the breadth of your own existence without apology, even if they try to take it from you. You must know not that you can do whatever you want. You are not a kudzu vine eating entire hillsides for the purpose of feeding your own lush life. You must know instead that inside you are entire universes, milky blue, magenta, and gold, expanding. But to actually be free, you must know, and you must fight for the entire universes inside of everyone else. Being free is not a license, but a promise. Thank you, Rin, for your help lighting our chalice.
Good morning. I'm Deb Balliol. I'm one of the OWL teachers our whole lives, which is the young people and old people, but young people's sexuality class. I'm a white woman in mid-70s with, I said brown hair last time, but in all honesty, it's brown and silver, wearing a blue-green sweater, brown, that was made in Peru. My pronouns are she, her. So what I'd like to do is have kids, and their adult people with them, find a toy here, or two even. And anyone else out there that wants to come be with a toy and help me out here, come on up. Anybody who feels childish. Thank you. I like childish. I feel childish. I love to play. Pick a toy out, any toy. And you can sit in the front row if you're not comfortable sitting on the floor. So these toys don't belong to us. We're just using them today. So I'm going to have to ask you to give them back at the end of the service. You don't get to keep them. Sorry. So I want to tell you a story about toys. When I was a kid, one Christmas, I received a very large bride doll. It was probably a 36-inch tall doll. Soft, lovely, beautiful face, beautiful hair, a veil, a white dress with lace from my grandmother Eva, sent with love, and I didn't like it. I wasn't a doll kid. I wasn't a doll player. But I had a nice doll bed, so the bride doll went right next to the articulated ballerina doll, which I love because you could make the feet do this, and the elbows and arms do this, next to the Ginny doll, who had dresses, which I never bothered with. So there they all slept together. What I really liked was my bear, and this is my bear from when I was about 3. I still have it. And this bear is very special. When you look at it close up, you can see where my thumbs and fingers were, because they're bare. But the whole back is bare, because as a 4-year-old, I thought if I cut the dirty hair off, clean hair would grow back on. It didn't. Anyway, back to the Christmas story. So I got the bride doll. My brother got a Lionel electric train. I'd have said thumbs up too if it was given to me. But it wasn't. I really wanted to play with that train. But trains were for boys, not girls. This was many, many, many years ago. I'm 75. As an adult, at about age 30, my husband Tom and I lived in Pittsburgh. We might have had our first child or not, I'm not sure yet. But we went to a garage sale, and there for dirt cheap, for $6, was an electric train set, which I bought. He says for the family, but I bought it for me. So now we try to be a little bit more open to kids about the choices they make and how they play. But some of us still think in old stereotypes. There are lots of feelings about toys, what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. So today I thought I'd bring some toys so kids could let us know what they think others and themselves might like. So I'm inviting all of the kids here in a minute to put their toys in a basket. The first basket says, toys, for those who feel like girls on the inside. The second one says, toys, for those who feel like boys on the inside. The third one says, toys, for those who feel like neither or both, sometimes, on the inside. And the last basket is for everyone. So if you are sitting up front with a toy, please feel free to come up and put your toy in a basket and figure out which one you think it should go in. No right, wrong answers. You can do it any way you want. You can decide. And you may decide to hold on to your toy too, and that's okay. Some of you have been well trained, especially if you live in my house. Any more toys to come up here? There's more on the floor. You don't have to, but if you see one you want to add in, you can. Just don't trip. Ooh, a hammer. Hammer. Oh, there goes a tiger and a baby doll and a kitty cat. Nobody's going to pick up the lonely dinosaur? Where does the dinosaur go? All right. And the baby, and the beads. All right, I think we're pretty set. Thank you. Have a seat for a moment. So, let's look at each basket and see how they sorted out. No one made a wrong choice. Everybody made their own choice. I'm not judging the choices. I'm commenting on how it played out. So in the girls only basket, or not girls only, the girl toys basket, when you feel like a girl on the inside, you might play with a puppy dog, or you might play with a Barbie who looks like she's a doctor. In the boys basket, those who feel like boys on the inside might play with a baby. They might wear some beads because they're sparkly, and everybody likes sparkly. Or they might play with the dinosaur. This is for those who feel like neither or both, some of the time or all of the time. Another baby, and a kitty cat. That leaves a lot of toys. Oh my gosh. The sword was for everybody. The headband with bunny ears was for everybody. The doctor's stethoscope was for everybody, as was the cape. Ta-da! And the giraffe ears and the homemade doll with the crazy hair. Wild hair like somebody we know. Whoopsie. Trip over my feet. There, that's for you to play with. A superhero. Oh, and a distorted super rescuer with the biggest feet and the smallest head. A sparkly egg. A hammer. A dump truck. Some build-it construction toys, Popoids for those who remember. A Ken doll. Oops, he's tangled in some beads here. Go, a Ken doll. A mama ape with a baby ape. A candle. I think that got the wrong place. the Cat in the Hat, Elmo, and what else do we have in here that's not a repeat? An old Raggedy Andy. I don't think anybody plays with Raggedy Ann and Andy, and I happen to have both. Yeah. Cooking. Who here loves cooking? Yeah. Do you like to mix things? I like to mix things. And what else? Oh, and who's the scientist in the group? Anybody want a magnifier to make things bigger? Any scientists here? A few, maybe? Good. I won't go through the rest. So, each child decided where they wanted to put the toy they had. Some had a toy they wouldn't play with, so it went in a different basket. Some had a toy they thought others would play with. Real toys are for fun, and anyone can play with them. Play is the one way to try out, to express, to have fun with who we are on the inside. And now, the children can go back to their parents while are we singing? I think we're singing.
All right. Thank you, Deb.
I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul.
From toys to clothes and more, there's no one way to be. And the way that we feel about and express our genders can be nearly infinite. I wonder what other types of gender diversity we might discover and celebrate today. As Betsy said earlier, kiddos and their families are invited to stay in the service the whole time today. There will be more stories and more fun activities coming up. During the month of March, we are sharing our offering plate with Pathway Clubhouse. This community-based, empowering, and holistic program provides psychosocial rehabilitation for people living with mental illness. Membership is lifelong and at the member's discretion. Opportunities for social interaction, employment, developing relationships, education, and building community are integral. In addition to passing the basket, you can text to give, scan the QR code, or visit firstucolumbus.org/donate. Thank you for your generosity. If you have something on your mind or heart and would like to talk after the service, you can find pastoral listener Sharon Hammersley in Beach Hall. Covenantal Relations team member Ryan Agnew will be hosting Beyond Small Talk in Sloter Lounge to process big feelings within congregational transitions and to explore how covenant holds us together through hard conversations. There are 2 caring cards available to sign after today's service, lifting up the joys and sorrows from our community this week. Sue Farnlacher had successful knee replacement surgery and is grateful to be home. If you know Sue, you'll know that she does a lot around here, so let's give her a round of applause. First UU's affiliated community minister, Reverend Meg McGuire, is celebrating 2 significant professional milestones. Reverend Meg completed her first renewal with the Ministerial Fellowship Committee. This advances her towards full fellowship with the Unitarian Universalist Association. Reverend Meg also recently met the standards for excellence needed to be a board-certified chaplain. Way to go, Meg. Let's give her a round of applause. As I ring our temple bell, I invite you to settle into a moment of silence as we hold these joys and sorrows and all those yet unspoken gently in our hearts. I will ring it again to bring us back from stillness. There's all sorts of joyful noises going on out here. With everything that's happening in the world right now, there are many people who need the love and support of our community. In particular, we are going to talk about welcoming people of all ages who are gender creative and expansive, trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming. So for today's meditation, we will continue with our story, Call Me Max. Chapter 2. On the first day of school, the teacher called out our names. Emery, here. Stella, me. I raised my hand when she got to my name. She looked at me, and then at the list of names, and then back at me again. I wondered if she thought my name didn't make sense for me. I felt that way too. Can you call me Max? I asked. Max is the boy in my favorite book. She nodded and wrote it down. I won't tell you what my old name was. That's private. I had to go to the bathroom after snack. At home, there's one bathroom for everyone to use. When I went to the store with my dad, I went into the bathroom with him. And when I went to the movies with my mom, I went into the bathroom with her. But at school, I had to pick which bathroom to use. When I went in the girls' bathroom, a girl ran out. She thought I was a boy. I didn't mean to scare her, but I liked that she thought I was a boy. I used the boys' bathroom instead. But when I came out, I saw kids giggling and pointing. I decided to hold it all day and tried not to drink too much water, no matter how thirsty I got. To be continued. Max's story shows us how gender might get tricky at school. Here at First UU, we have signs in the hallway that tell everyone to use whichever bathroom works best for them, whether that means stalls, urinals, or the single restroom in the SYC hallway. But If you look at the door of the stall bathrooms, we also have bathroom signs that say men and women. They aren't our favorite signs because they don't show the full diversity of the gender spectrum, but we still have to have them because an elementary school, Red Oak, meets in our building, and they're required to have these signs under Ohio law. You could probably see how signs and rules like that might cause difficulty for gender-expansive children like Max, and even for adults at schools and universities. It can be hard when there are things happening in our larger world that we know are wrong. But together, we can organize to make our community more welcoming and to make a difference in the wider world. Please rise in body or spirit to sing number 100, verse 3, Love Like an Ocean.
I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.
In our story, the teacher at school realizes that Max would feel more comfortable being called the name that Max prefers. I bet we can all think of some people we know who might want to be called a certain name or not to be called a certain name. Sometimes this looks like wanting to be called Elizabeth instead of Lizzie, or Mike instead of Michael. And sometimes this looks like picking a new name altogether because the one you have doesn't feel like it fits. When people ask us to call them by a particular name, they are giving us an important message. They are telling us how best to help them feel comfortable and welcome as their true selves. This also applies to pronouns. Pronouns are the words we use to refer to someone when we don't use their name, like he, him, she, her, they, them, and even sie, zer. It can be really tricky to remember the pronouns people prefer and to practice them, especially when they change. But what matters most is that we are trying. When people share their pronouns, they are giving us a tool to help welcome them as their authentic selves. And when you introduce yourself with your pronouns, or put pronoun stickers on your church name tag, you are signaling that you care about treating people how they would like to be treated, and that it's safe for people to share their pronouns with you and to express their gender identity. Language matters, and being truly welcoming matters. There are places where it may not feel safe to share pronouns and to express gender creatively and fully. And this is part of why it's so important for us to make sure people feel safer and welcome to do so here. Our shared values as Unitarian Universalists call us to tend to each other in these ways, even though it can feel really tricky to learn. And now, it's time for a scavenger hunt. When you came in, you had the opportunity to get a colorful pipe cleaner or a chenille stick with beads on it. There are more back by the door if you didn't get one. We're about to do an activity together, and you might have noticed that the beads are all the same color. We are going to move around the room to trade beads until they are all different colors. And here's what we're going to do. Everyone is going to go around and talk to some people who you may not know or you don't know very well yet. When you find someone you would like to trade beads with, introduce yourself with your preferred name and pronouns. So I would say, I'm Amber. My pronouns are she, they. Would you like to trade beads? This will give us all the opportunity to practice saying our pronouns and listening to someone else's pronouns. And you might even get to meet a new friend. For the folks listening online, if there are other people present where you are, you can go talk to them, or maybe make a list of people to share your pronouns with later. Ready, everyone? Okay, go. All right. If you are done trading, you can return to your seat. If you are done trading, return to your seat. Yeah. Right. Carla came up with like zhuzhed it. Yeah. All right. I can tell that everybody likes talking to each other, which is a good sign. All right, let's start to simmer down and return. Let us return for the next thing. Thank you, everyone, for practicing pronouns with me. You're welcome to keep your special pipe cleaner and beads to make a bracelet or for an art project, or just as a keepsake to remember the ideas we explored in the service. Next, Michaela is going to teach us something special.
Good morning, everyone. Well, today you're going to be my class, my students, okay? Today, I am not Michaela, I'm Miss JB. That's what my students call me, okay? So I'm going to teach you a song, and then we're all going to sing it together. But first, so you know what to do, when I point to myself, that's me singing. When I point to you, that's your turn to sing, okay? All right, so I'm going to teach you line by line. You probably already know this song, but for those who don't, we're going to learn it together. So this song is called Be the Change. Okay, can I get a F? So, my turn. Be the change you want to see in the world. Your turn. Ready? And go. Be the change you want to see in the world. Now my turn. Be the change you want to see in the world. Your turn. Ready? And be the change you want to see. Now this one goes up a little bit higher. Be the change you want to see in the world. Wait, let me look at that again. Be the change you want to see in the world. So you want to see in the world. To, see, and are the same notes. So just keep that in mind. Let's try that. Ready? And be the change you want to see in the world. And every single time, even if we change the words, it will end. And change will come to you. Your turn. Ready? And change will come. Good. So now to make this more fun, I'm going to have us all sing, and we're going to do a heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. And 1, 2, 3. Be the change you want to see in the boom, 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 boom. Let's try that again. Okay? You keep singing. I'm going to do the boom, boom. Okay? All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Be the boom, 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 boom. Okay, great. Who wants to be the boom, boom? I'm gonna going to say this side. I want you to say boom, 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 and make it as low as you can, okay? Boom, boom, boom. Let's try it. Ready, and go in. Boom, 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 boom. So this is called improv because I thought with us doing this, it would be loud enough, but it's not. So I want them to do it for us. And it might change. So now we're going to go to the next verse. Be the voice. Be the voice you want to hear in the world, okay? You're going to be the boom booms. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Be the voice. Boom, 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 boom. Do you want to see in the world? Be the voice you want to hear in the world, and change will come with you. Okay, now to break that up even more. Good job, boom booms. Can we give them an applause? We all really need, let's pat our legs. Let's pat our legs this time. Maybe that'll be louder. Good. And you're listening? That's good. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Now, when I point at your group, you're going to sing. So, for example, this is going to be group 1. From here over, you guys can stop the boom booms for now. Thank you. This is going to be group 1 over here. This center is going to be group 2. And this side is going to be group 3, okay? So now when I point at you, you sing. And it could happen at any time. So you better be prepared. So we got to pay attention, okay? All right, ready? But everyone's going to do the boom booms no matter what, right? Yeah, let's start the boom booms. Ready? Boom, boom. Listen. Our hearts beat as one. Ready? And be the change you want to see. Be the change you want to see in the world. So wait, let's try that again. Remember, when I see this happens all the time, we just have to go back and fix it in school. So when I point at you, it's your turn. When I point at you, it's your turn. So that means you don't sing. We're just gonna pat our legs, okay? Let's try that again. Boom, 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 boom. Be the change you want to see. Be the change. Be the change. Oh yeah, you weren't ready for that, huh? You want to see. And change will come. Next verse, ready? Be the voice you want to. Be the voice. Oh, good job. Your turn. Good job. Everyone. Next verse. Be the. Good job. You gotta be ready. See in the world, be the change. Ready, everyone? Good job. Woo! Wonderful, wonderful job. And not like I'm recruiting or anything, but I'm just saying you all were just in choir Tuesday nights at 6:30.
Thank you, Michaela. Now that we know that song, we might be able to sing it together for another worship service or for a protest. Next, we're going to put our thinking caps back on about how gender might feel a bit different for everyone. Let's continue with our story. Call me Max. Chapter 3. Making friends was easy, but everyone asked if I was a boy or a girl. I told my friend Teresa that I wanted to be a boy, and she asked, why? Because I like climbing trees, I told her, and looking for gross bugs. She looked mad. I'm a girl, and we climbed this tree together. I also caught more spiders than you did. Oh yeah, I forgot. Spiders aren't bugs. And I still don't think I'm a girl. I know spiders aren't bugs, Teresa said. Why don't you think you're a girl? Because I don't feel like one on the inside. I told my friend Steven that I might be a boy. I can't be a girl, I said. I hate wearing dresses. He looked down at his dress and then glared at me. This is my favorite dress, and I like being a boy. Oh yeah, I said, I forgot. I'm sorry. And it's a pretty dress, but I still know I'm a boy. How come? He asked. Because I feel like one, I told him, on the inside. Some people, like Max, might call themselves trans and switch from one gender to another gender. Other people might feel one way about gender sometimes, and a different way other times. They may even change their pronouns depending on how they feel on a given day. People may identify as gender creative, gender expansive, or gender nonconforming. And some people might feel like gender is a system that doesn't work for them at all. And they might identify as non-binary or agender. People of all ages may be within and beyond these categories, and they all deserve to be loved and supported by the people in their lives and in their communities. Access to gender-affirming care is important because it saves lives. Gender can be really different for everybody, but we know that different is good. And I know that First UU has room for everyone. All people, all genders, and all bodies are whole, holy, and good. So let's keep spreading the love. I invite you to remain seated to sing number 100, verse 4, Pain Like an Arrow.
I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul.
Between now and the end of the service, you'll have the opportunity to continue to process by writing or drawing. You may have noticed there are some slips of paper in your printed order of service, and there are markers and more art materials available both by the door, and I have a wagon up here that I'll roll out into the middle in case you didn't pick up any supplies when you came in. For the folks joining us online, feel free to use whatever materials you may have on hand. And if sitting still to sketch won't work for your body, you're invited to move a little bit, to gaze at the beautiful art and the plants in the room, and to use your imagination. You're welcome to explore gender or to think about something else. But feel free to come up if you need more supplies or to move around a little bit. Draw something that represents part of your identity, or write about a memory you have that relates to your identity. Let's get started. I'm going to give a short amount of time for you to start your project, but then we're going to keep going because we still have a lot to do. Feel free to continue working on your project or to finish your ideas up after the service. Since people are still working, let's remain seated, and for those who would like to, we're going to sing number 100, verse 5, Tears Like the Raindrops.
I've got tears like raindrops, I've got tears like raindrops, I've got tears like raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like raindrops, I've got tears like raindrops, I've got tears like raindrops in my soul.
Let's see what else happens in our story. Call Me Max, chapter 4. One day, Stephen and Teresa came over to play. My parents heard them call me Max, and during dinner, they asked me why. I told them all about school, how I couldn't go to the bathroom, how I didn't like my old name, how I felt like a boy. My mom and dad talked to my teacher, and we found a group for kids like me, boys and girls, and kids who weren't boys or girls. All of us were transgender. We talked about serious things like bathrooms and teasing, but we also talked about fun things like video games and books and toys. I don't know what our parents talked about. Probably the same things. I told my class that I was transgender. The boys got used to having me in their bathroom. The girls didn't really want me in theirs anyway. Teresa and I kept climbing trees and finding gross bugs. I still didn't want to play dress up with Stephen. Some of the girls in the group gave me their old boy clothes, and I gave them some of my old girl clothes. Being a boy isn't better than being a girl, but being myself is the best. The end. Together, let's consider how we can be ourselves and welcome others to be their true selves. Please remain seated to sing number 100, verse 6, Strength Like a Mountain.
I've got strength like a mountain, I've got strength like a mountain, I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain, I've got strength like a mountain, I've got strength like a mountain in my soul.
At the very end of our service today, we are going to have the opportunity to blow bubbles. There are quite a few friends and neighbors here today, so I'm going to start passing the bubbles out now during this next part. So hold on. As you may or may not have expected, I do have one more story for you today. I invite you, while the bubbles are being passed quietly, to settle in and get comfortable as you listen. You can even stretch out or rest your body. This story is called From the Stars in the Sky to the Fish in the Sea, written by Kai Chang Tom and illustrated by Wai-Yant Lee and Kai Yun Ching. Once upon a time, In a little blue house on a hill on the edge of town, a baby was born. They were born when both the moon and the sun were in the sky, so the baby couldn't decide what to be. Boy or girl, bird or fish, cat or rabbit, tree or star. So the baby looked a little like everything. They looked very strange. All the same, the baby's mother gave her child a bath and rocked them in her arms. Your name, she said, is Mulan. She sang a song that her own mother had sung to her long ago. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea. You can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high, and I'll always be here. I'll be near, standing by, and you know that I'll love you till the day that I die. And even though they still couldn't decide, the baby felt loved. Mulan grew up to be a strange, magical child who is always changing. They grew feathers and wings to fly with bluebirds in the morning, scales and a tail to swim with fish in the afternoon, and fur and paws to play with puppies in the evening. No matter how many things Mulan became, their mother always brought them back to the little blue house, gave them a bath, tucked them into bed, and as the stars rose, she sang, "Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea." And Mulan felt loved. One day, it was time for the child to go to school. They were so excited. They grew a tail of peacock feathers and a coat of tiger stripes. "Have fun," said Mulan's mother. But when they got to school, the other students were either boys or girls. They had no feathers, no scales, no leaves, no fur, no fins, not even any sparkles. No one invited Mulan to play. One little boy ran up to the child and asked, "What are you supposed to be?" Mulan didn't know how to answer. When they came home, their mother asked how they'd liked school. "It's okay," said Mulan. "Did you make any friends?" "Not really." That night, Mulan's mother tucked them into bed and sang, "You can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high, and I'll always be here. I'll be near, standing by, and you know that I'll love you till the day that I die." And Mulan felt loved, but also worried. The next day, they wore a turtle shell and porcupine spines. No one pulled or poked Mulan, but the other children still pointed and whispered. "Did you make any friends today?" asked their mother. "Not really." That night, Mulan's mother tucked them into bed and sang, "Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea." And Mulan felt loved, but they also felt sad. The next day, Mulan wore no feathers, no scales, no leaves, no fur, no fins, no shells, no spines, not even any sparkles. Mulan was invited to play baseball with the boys. No one pointed, whispered, laughed, or stared, but when Mulan joined the little girls playing hopscotch, "Boys don't play hopscotch," said a little girl. "Are you a boy or a girl anyway?" asked a little boy. "Didn't you have a shell the other day and feathers the day before?" "What are you supposed to be?" said several children at once. "I don't know!" Mulan shouted and galloped out of the playground on horse's hooves, swam through the stream with a fish's tail, and soared up the hill on an eagle's wings. "How was school?" asked Mulan's mother. "I wore feathers and stripes so the other kids would think I was beautiful, but they thought I was weird. And I wore a shell and spines so no one would pull or poke me, but they wouldn't talk to me. I tried to be like everyone else, but I haven't made any friends. I can't decide what to be. Why do I have to be just one thing?" "It isn't always easy to be different from everyone else," said their mother. "But you can only be who you are." "What if the other children don't like who I am?" sniffled Mulan. Their mother smiled sadly. "I don't know," she said, but I do know this. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea. And Mulan felt loved. That night, they slept a deep sleep. The next day, Mulan wore fur, feathers, scales, leaves, and many sparkles that glittered like stars. For a moment, none of the other children spoke. Then a little girl said, "You can fly? That's so cool." "I like your sparkles," said a little boy. "I'm sorry I pulled your feathers," said the boy with red hair. "I was a little jealous of them." Mulan asked, "Does anyone want to play with me?" They showed the other children how to gallop like horses, climb like monkeys, and swim like fish. It was fun to be many different things. And the child of fur, feathers, scales, leaves, and sparkles, who is neither a boy nor a girl, but many things and always changing, felt happy. In the little blue house on the hill on the edge of town, Mulan's mother smiled and sang the song her mother had sung to her once upon a time. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea. You can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high, and I'll always be here. I'll be near, standing by. And you know that I'll love you till the day that I die. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, for you are my child, courageous and free. The end. Being yourself can be hard work. Sometimes it can feel confusing or even hurt, but having the support of your community makes all the difference. That's why being truly welcoming matters, here and now. We are now going to sing one more hymn. I'm going to ask you to stand and then remain standing after for the Chalice Extinguishing. Please rise as you are willing and able for number 1053, How Could Anyone?
How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Feel free, if you feel comfortable, to join hands or to otherwise connect with your neighbor as we extinguish our chalice together with these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of vision. As we go forth, let us heal and transform ourselves and our world through reason and love. If you feel comfortable doing so, please remain standing to blow bubbles and join our Gender Joy dance party. Nathan will play one song for all of us to dance to, celebrating the whole beautiful rainbow of gender creativity, and then play another song as our postlude, at which point you're welcome to gather your things, dance your way out of the sanctuary, and come explore more books about gender in the gallery and beach hall. I had a lot of fun exploring with you today. Let's dance.